FM 89, thank you so much for being with me. Me, Steve Pulaski, Joe Viso, now with coming out with what I think is the biggest story of the week. Biggest story I've been saying that hasn't even happened yet. We got to be careful how we talk about this, okay? Because right now it's going to be a lot of speculation, all right? There's going to be a lot of speculation around this. There already has been, so I'm going to kind of address that. We're going to kind of address that.
Yeah.
And it's a story that, I'm going to say this, I know I and many others have been waiting to break, okay? When the Harvey Weinstein stuff started coming out back in October when that stuff started coming out, I remember reading some stuff on Twitter about this. And I kept waiting for, sort of the ball to drop on this one. And it hadn't happened yet. And I kept waiting and waiting. I'm like, when's this going to happen? When's this? It's kind of like the calm before the storm. You're like, it's going to happen. I can sense it. What's next? And lo and behold, it's confirmed yesterday, Monday, because it is Wednesday. Nickelodeon has chosen to part ways with the eminently successful Dan Schneider, the TV producer, screenwriter for them, also the principal CEO member of Schneider's Bakery, also known as Dan Warp as well, it's probably been responsible for your favorite shows growing up. Dan Schneider, incredible proprietor of programs, started with All That, Kenan and Kel, The Amanda Show. I think he was a co-creator. He was a co-creator of What I Like About You, but mainly on Nickelodeon.
I mean, big one with our age group, Drake and Josh.
Of course. Zoe 101, one of my personal favorites. I love Zoe 101. Yeah. Victorious, Sam and Cat, and then I don't know if anybody still watches now, but now they got Henry Danger, Game Shakers, which is confirmed to be canceled now. Game Shakers is done. And then The Adventures of Kid Danger, which just started. So I don't know how they're going to deal with that. But yeah, and then of course too, Dan Schneider, he was also one of the main writers of Big Fat Liar, which I love. Good Burger, he was an actor in that as well. But anyway, so Nickelodeon has chosen to part ways. And there was a statement released, a joint statement by both, said, following many conversations together about next directions and future opportunities, Nickelodeon and our longtime creative partner Dan Schneider / Schneider's Bakery have agreed to not extend the current deal since several Schneider's Bakery projects are wrapping up. Both sides agreed that this is a natural time for Nickelodeon and Schneider's Bakery to pursue other opportunities and projects. Now, this may seem just like whatever. I mean, Schneider's been there for 25 years, since all that started.
Typical PR, move to put out.
Yes, but if you've kept at least a little bit of an ear for this kind of thing, you know that there has been, as Deadline, who broke the story, Deadline puts it very eloquently, there's been a cloud of suspicion underneath Schneider for many years, including treatment of his younger co-stars, because he works around a lot of kids, works around a lot of underage kids. Jamie Lynn Spears from Zoe 101. I mean, you have Miranda Cosgrove, Jeanette McCurdy, Victoria Justice, Aaron Sanders, who was Quinn on Zoe 101. Yeah. So you have that. You also have well-documented issues of temper issues for Schneider. You also have the one thing, and we got to try, this is safe harbor after all, but we can mention this too. There have also been a host of different associations with Dan Schneider and feet pictures as well, which is something I never thought I'd talk about.
In fact, if you go on YouTube and you just type in Dan Schneider, the third thing that pops up is foot.
Yes. And this comes from, and this isn't like some joke thing, this comes from, and I noticed this because the last Dan Schneider thing I really watched was iCarly and Victorious. Stopped after a while because I found both those shows insufferable, but especially iCarly. I think
iCarly is insufferable.
iCarly is one of the worst programs to come out in so many years, and I hate to say it because Schneider was so good with Zoe 101 and Drake and Josh. I hate to say it, iCarly's unwatchable. But anyway, the thing though with iCarly was there, even in Sam and Cat too, the spinoff show, there was a ton of references, oddball references. We talked about this earlier today, Joe, about feet. Sam, played by Jeanette McCurdy, she would text with her feet. They would draw like characters on their toes.
Yeah.
She loved foot rubs and stuff. There was even a social media campaign for Sam and Cat for viewers to write the hashtag campaign on their foot and tweet a picture to the account.
There was one
weird stuff
going across Twitter today. It's Victoria Justice pours ketchup on her feet and then somebody licks it off, I think, or something like that.
Weird
It was
stuff,
It's just like,
man.
okay. There's a compilation on YouTube somebody posted on Twitter when this was trending, and it's all every show he's done that has something like this.
It's unbelievably strange. It sends a lot of red flags in like a post-Weinstein, present Me
And he's
Too era.
tweeted pictures of this.
Yes, and the other thing is like there's also been I talked about temper issues too. There was also apparently a blow up that happened when they announced that Game Shakers, when Nickelodeon announced that Game Shakers, Snyder's current property, which is now canceled, that it was not going to get renewed for a 4th season. And then there's issues that there have been issues where Schneider's shows have gone incredibly over budget, and there have been long, grueling production scenes. So let me just say this. I'm going to say this right now. No pun intended. I hate to sound like I said this to you. No pun intended. The shoe is going to drop with this thing.
Oh, yeah.
There is going to be in the next couple of weeks. I mean, you got to think about who's also involved in this. You have Jamie Lynn Spears, who has kind of become like a pariah after the pregnancy thing with Zoe 101, even though that's over 10 years ago. That's still fresh in a lot of people's minds.
Yeah.
You have Amanda Bynes, who he's worked with a lot on the Amanda Show, all that, Big Fat Liar. You have Victoria Justice, who's
Miranda Cosgrove.
both of whom are not beholden to Nickelodeon anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you have
Ariana Grande. Pod star now.
There you go. You have a lot of people that aren't beholden on Nickelodeon for their careers. That's the other thing. It would be different right now if Victorious was still going. You know what I mean? If Victorious was still on, if iCarly was still on, if they were still making new episodes. They're not beholden anymore, these performers and stuff like that. And it's going to be really something too, I'll tell you right now. It's going to be really something if you see, I mean, like just to come out, if there's stories, if there are, it'd be significant to see people like Drake Bell, Sean Flynn, Keenan and Kel, Josh Peck even, Jerry Trainer, Nathan Kress from iCarly.
Yeah.
These guys come out and say what their experience was. Because, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, even if there is a case as like, we're fearing as like what it's sounding like potentially, even if that may be the case, and again, we can't confirm or deny it. I'm stressing that right now. Even if there's a case like that too, the temper issues are unisex. Like, I mean, there could be any number of these issues that that have affected every cast member he's worked with.
You don't know what the male actors, what they saw behind the scenes, possibly.
Who knows?
Apparently, there's rumors going around. Once again, rumors. Let me state that, very obvious. That he had a ton of like after parties that were like unattended by a lot of adults. It was mostly just the kid stars at like locations that he chose. So it's like, okay.
Wow. See, I'm telling you, this don't look good.
This does not look good.
If I'm Schneider, this is a PR nightmare. Even if, let's say, I think it's unlikely, but let's say it comes out that nothing comes out. This is still not good PR.
Oh, yeah, no. It's coming out the wrong time.
It is. I mean, there's never a good time for this kind of stuff
Steve said
to
this
come
off
out,
air, but this will not be the only time we talk about this on Sleepless from the looks of it.
I will be amazed if it isn't. I will be amazed if there's not even something by the time that we go on air next week.
Yeah.
That something breaks. I mean, because I think this is a hugely significant story. This is a story that I think is going to get ugly quick. I said before, I told you, I don't think the real one's even broken yet. I don't. I think this is even like almost a smoke screen.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I would not be saying this. I would not be saying this if you wouldn't have if iCarly, Victorious, Sam and Cat, if these shows were still on air, I wouldn't be saying this because I'm like, you have a lot of people under contract, a lot of young stars don't want to lose their gigs, stuff like that. Jamie Lynn Spears could not be more far removed from Nickelodeon. Miranda Cosgrove, Victoria Justice have moved on. Jeanette McCurdy's done. Ariana Grande's got a music career. Even Drake and Josh, Amanda Bynes, they're doing their own thing. Amanda Bynes is pretty much retired from acting.
Yeah.
So, like, you have a lot of people, a host of people that are not beholden to Schneider or Nickelodeon anymore. So that's going to be a big influencer.
I'm telling you, Josh Peck's a big YouTuber now. He does a lot of vlogs on YouTube. I'm waiting just to see one video just drop on there, just saying my story with Dan Schneider.
Yeah, because
I'm just waiting for that to be the title.
I'm telling you, something's gonna happen. It's not gonna look good. I'm surprised because you know what caught me, and this is like almost unrelated, is that Schneider's Bakery. Okay, because you remember Schneider's Bakery, the logo I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Here, with the logo I was gonna show. At the end of every Drake and Josh with the oven, that comes at the very
and
end.
it pops out.
Dan Warp. Yeah, exactly. You remember that? I was surprised. I was surprised. I did not know that Schneider's Bakery was not a subsidiary of Nickelodeon because when they let Schneider walk, they made, like, if you read the statement that's on Deadline from them, it says Nickelodeon and our longtime creative partner Dan Schneider / Schneider's Bakery have agreed to not extend the current deal.
Okay.
I didn't know that Schneider's Bakery was not a subsidiary. That's Schneider's company. He founded that on his own. But at the same time, it's weird because it's like it's responsible under the umbrella of Schneider's Bakery. It's responsible for Drake and Josh, all that, Zoe 101, iCarly. Aren't those still owned by Nickelodeon? It's always very gray with these kind of, you know what I mean? When there's like corporations within corporations.
This is the whole who owns what in Marvel scenario again.
Yeah, but you kind of get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
right?
I get what you're saying.
I don't understand it. I don't, because like I said, okay, Schneider's Bakery is his company.
Yeah.
But those properties those that belong to them belong to Nick. So
At the Nickelodeon theme park, can they still have iCarly up on like
I don't know how that
works
works then. I don't know what kind of royalties. Apparently they're saying, this news came out today, that Schneider got a $7 million severance package. They're saying that right now. That story just broke not too long ago. That's from Page 6. Run far. I'm telling, because like I said, there's
out of the country.
this is going to manifest into something.
Oh, yeah.
This is gonna be a mudslide effect right now. I'm telling you, it's coming. It's not gonna end well, I don't think. So
what do you think this is gonna do to Nickelodeon?
I don't know. Because I'm telling, this is a host of problems.
Like,
if this goes the way that you're fearing it, this is a big blemish for Nick.